Hello, 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 Earth Angels. Elvia Rowe here, founder of AngelsTeach.com, and welcome to our sometimes monthly messages from the angels. I say that because my last monthly messages was November, and I actually filmed it on Halloween, and then Halloween night, I went outside to take a picture of the moon that looked absolutely glorious, and I fell through a very small but lethal section of our deck, rotten deck, and plummeted down, broke my shoulder in 3 places, and yeah, been recovering ever since. And so been doing a lot of healing, and how I want to emphasize this as a story for anyone who's sort of experienced these life interruptions. They're always in some way for our highest good. You probably may know that our daughter had brain cancer last year, and it was quite an intense time. 2023 really kicked our butts big time. And I was feeling like, yes, I want to get back to it. I want to get back to it. And then Halloween night, Mama Moon was like, yeah, not yet. You've still got some work to do. And so it was an incredibly painful experience, worse than 2 births without meds. It was excruciating. But so rich with understanding and learning and healing and self-discovery. And I'm just really excited about, spring's here almost. I'm really excited about what's coming up. I know that I have definitely done a lot of work and made a lot of changes within and been healing. And I know that that's going to translate into things that I offer the world, because even when life suddenly takes a left turn, my heart is fully dedicated to this work and to supporting you and you connecting with your angels. We have, throughout all of this, even when I was just voice texting the messages because I couldn't type, I was writing to our community every week, twice a week actually, Living with the Angels. And that little tribe, our little angel family, held me up in such amazing ways. Community is so important. People who are there to remind you that the angels are always present, always working on our behalf and for the greater good. So just mentioning that because it's just important to have people in your life, tribe in your life that support you in that way. So not saying that as a plug, but if you are curious, we do I am going to be opening the membership right now. It's closed, but I am going to be opening it up soon to, I haven't decided on quite how many members, but it is such a sacred space. We do need to keep it, my guidance is to keep it very sort of cozy and sacred, just because, open up to the masses and it's less intimate. And I think people need intimate space to feel safe. And that's really the bottom line. So I'm going to actually do a reading. We're going to do the pick 1, 2, 3 thing. And I'm actually going to I've been using a lot more tarot. So I'm curious, if you use tarot, drop a little comment there in the comments below, because I'm curious how many of you guys actually use tarot, and if you want to explain how you use it, that's cool. Or if you just want to say, yep, use it, love it, or don't love it, whatever is your experience. So I couldn't really shuffle, so I had to get a small deck. So I found this sweet little animal tarot. You can't see the writing on the deck is very small, but it's the traditional Rider-Waite images, but with animals. And it's small, so I was able to shuffle it fairly easily with one hand. And so I'm going to be doing readings today using this stack. So I'm going to go ahead and invite you guys, choose number 1, number 2, or number 3, and we'll get right to it. Okay, so for those of you who chose number 1, you get the 3 of Pentacles, or the 3 of Coins. And this card is about collaboration. It's also about mastery. There is a sculptor, a monk, and an architect. And you'll see that it's actually the little mousey who is the sculptor, a kitty who is the monk, and I think it's Puppy Dog, I don't have my glasses on, Puppy Dog, who is the architect. And as I said, this card is about collaboration. It's about understanding and really acknowledging what your gifts are, what your unique brilliance is. And I know some of you are like, I don't know what that is, or you're shy about it, and this is about really owning what it is that you are great at without holding back. I think sometimes, and I know I do this, sometimes we can kind of go into the shadows thinking, well, it's really not that much of a gift. Everybody can do that, or, I'm nothing special or whatever. And the fact is, you are special. You do have a gift. And it could be a smile that you bring to the world every time you go out the door. It could be a connection that you have with a little one. It could be the kind of friend that you are. It could be something you're teaching in the world, or your job as a manager, whatever it is. You have a gift. And this is a call for you to honor and recognize it. Or recognize it first and then honor it, and come together with others, because again, this is a card about collaboration. There's other tradesmen in the card. And so the message about that is that there is support within community. There is, you can do this, I can do this. There's this leveling up that we're capable of when we're with people who see those gifts and uphold us in that kind of a way. I recently, and it took a lot of meditating time to decide whether or not I was going to do this, but I recently joined this marketing class school thing. And I've done a bunch of these in the past before. But what I recognized more than anything that I needed from it was information about technology changes, because there have been a lot. But even more than that is just a community of other business owners who are doing, not even necessarily similar things, but they're doing things online, and they're cheering each other on, and they're holding each other up, and they're, really lifting the whole, they call, the rising tide lifts all boats. And so if you chose number 1, this is your call to recognize, honor your gifts, and surround yourself with other people who are able to see that gift with you and celebrate that gift. And it could literally be collaboration with others, although I'm feeling like that's, I want to say secondary, but feels like even tertiary goal there. I think it's more in the background. So yeah, be you. For those of you who chose number 2, you got the 8 of Pentacles. There's a theme so far with the coins here. Coins and pentacles representing earth, the material realm of things. It's about resources, it's about money, it's about anything really on the physical level, so to speak. So you'll see this little guy. I think he's a badger. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, but I think he's a badger. And he's got his head down and he's doing his work. He doesn't look totally enthused. He may find it a little repetitive, a little boring, but he knows that he has this work to do. It makes me think of unloading the dishwasher. Silly example, but I think it relates here because it's one of those things that I don't love doing it. It just is, it's annoying. And yet it has to be done, right? Not going to have clean dishes if we don't unload the dishwasher. And so we all have these things in our lives that feel like drudgery. And this card is just reminding us that, it's part of life. But more than that, it's actually, as we can focus on the gift of whatever that is, like clean dishes or a job well done, the more that we are sitting in grace as we do these things. In this class that I mentioned about this marketing class, one of the things that the teacher has mentioned that's really landed for me is she talks about this mindset shift of loving the things you need to do to get where you want to go. I'm going to say that again. Loving the things you need to do to get where you want to go. And learning how to do that. And it can be a chore sometimes. But going back to the dishwasher, just as an example, if I put on a podcast, or if I put on some music, or if I put on something that lifts my mindset, it helps that experience to transform into something that's actually enjoyable. And my vibration is just, more uplifted. So imagine if this little guy was playing his favorite music, or listening to his favorite podcast. So if you chose number 2, my sense is that there's probably parts of your life that are feeling very routine and maybe even boring and drudgery-like. Find ways to make it interesting. Do something that shifts it so that you can actually maybe even enjoy it. Yeah, just tuning in to see if there was anything else. They're saying no, so we're good. For those of you who chose number 3, I love this card. The High Priestess. Oh my goodness. Look at that little kitty cat sitting on her throne, looking so in her power. I love this card. This is one of the major arcana cards. And you're not supposed to have favorite cards because they all have medicine, and yet I always have favorites. And then there's cards that I got the 9 of Swords this morning for my card, and that's like but it has medicine. So embracing all of the cards is always important. And I think it's okay to have favorites. This is one of mine, and the High Priestess is all about intuition. She's about connecting with the higher power. She's about knowing. Look at that moon on top of her head. That's moon symbolism right there. She's all powerful. And there's so much about her being this unifying force, because as she connects with her intuition and lives by that, she unites duality. She sees the oneness. The dark and the light come together through her, through intuition. And such a powerful message, because in our world with so much duality and so much shit going down, that when we live with our angels, when we live by intuition and through the high heart, we unify. I don't want to say eliminate, but we take steps towards eliminating the extreme duality and the extreme pain that comes through duality, because we're focusing on what unites us. We're focusing on the love, and the love that brings everyone together. When we're focused on the duality, we continue this dance, this march of extreme separation. When we start to use our intuition and respond and show up through love and through light, we then are able to be present as this expression of love, whatever is happening, whether we're with people who are very entrenched in the duality or not. We can be this unifying presence that brings it all back to love. I love that card. And that is it for our readings this month. Thank you so much for joining me here today. So honored to have you part of this journey, and I do look forward to playing more angel games with you and just helping you to connect more with your high heart, live an intuitive life, and know that your angels are guiding you every step of the way. So much love. Be well. Bye. See you next time.